أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. من كلام لسيدنا ومولانا أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام قال: أما والذي فلق الحبة وبرأ النسمة لولا حضور الحاضر وقيام الحجة بوجود الناصر، وما أخذ الله على العلماء أن لا يقاروا على كظة ظالم ولا سغب مظلوم، لألقيت حبلها على غاربها ولسقيت آخرها بكأس أولها، ولألفيتم دنياكم هذه أزهد عندي من عفطة عنز. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. On the occasion of martyrdom of the master of Muttaqeen, our condolences is to his son, our master, the 12th Imam, Al-Imam Al-Mahdi alayhi salam, and to the entire humanity as well as the Islamic nation. We extend our condolences on such sad occasion. The topic of the night is the justice of Ali ibn Abi Talib. In the statement that I have narrated from this great Imam, the Imam alayhi salam put the purpose by which he has accepted the governorship and the ruler position. He have said, for only one reason that I have accepted the Khilafah is that the just ruler should not accept and put up with the swelling of the rich and the starvation of the poor, or basically erecting justice. The preoccupation of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam was only how to implement justice. That was his obsession. That was his mind-boggling thing when he was a ruler. How he would implement his policy in order to be just ruler. Justice was the hallmark of his government. No wonder that in 2002, the United Nations Human Rights Commission declared Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam to be the fairest governor who has appeared during the course of a human history. Why? Because Ali ibn Abi Talib was very preoccupied with erecting justice. When he was asked to define justice, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam said this: Al-adl yada'u al-umur fi mawadhi'iha. Justice places things in their right order, right place. For example, if you are a governor, the right place for a governor is to be tolerant, fair, and just people, just person, and looking after people's welfare, security, and well-being. If you are a father, then the right order is that you look after the well-being of the children, nourish them well, teach them well, and bring them in a righteous manner, and so forth. These are called justice, when things are placed in their right order. And that was the preoccupation of Ali ibn Abi Talib when he was a ruler. He has said about the unjust ruler, said, إن أشد أهل النار عذابا حاكم ظلم رعيته. The worst of the inhabitants of hellfire are a governor who has oppressed his own citizens and subordinates. That's why he says and swears that والله لئن أبيت على حسك السعدان مسهدا أو أجر في الأغلال مصفدا أحب إلي من أن ألقى الله ورسوله يوم القيامة ظالما لبعض العباد. He swears by God that it would be easier for him to sleep on the spikes, sharp spikes, or being dragged by chains on the floor. That would be much easier for him than being accused on the day of judgment in front of God and his messenger that he has been oppressing people. That is the stand of Ali ibn Abi Talib against injustice. When you look at the rules of Ali ibn Abi Talib in the Islamic world, despite the fact that Islamic world has its fair share of oppressors and tyrants, Ali ibn Abi Talib stand in stark and in opposition to all of those kinds of leaders. Look at the words of Ali ibn Abi Talib. He is considered to be the father of the modern free democratic world. And I will be explaining this in a minute. When we look at his sermons and his covenants and his letters to his governors in different locations of the Islamic empire, we see that he always stresses on the right of the citizen. In his famous words and covenants to his governor Malik al-Ashtar, he says, وَأَشْعِرْ قَلْبَكَ الرَّحْمَةَ وَالرَّعِيَّةِ وَالْمَحَبَّةَ لِلرَّعِيَّةِ وَالْمَحَبَّةِ لَهُمْ وَاللُّطْفِ بِهِمْ وَلَا تَكُونَنَّ عَلَيْهِمْ سَبُعًا ضَارِيًا تَغْتَنِمُ أُكُلَهُمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ صِنْفَانٌ إِمَّا أَخٌ لَكَ فِي الدِّينِ أَوْ نَظِيرٌ لَكَ فِي الْخَلْقِ. He says that always open your heart in passion and mercy towards your own citizen, and never been like a carnivorous who plunder their belongings and take away their wealth and their property. And people after all are two kinds. One are your brethren in the religion, and the others are counterparts in your humanity. In both, you have to be just and fair with both of them. These were the words of Ali ibn Abi Talib. When we say that Ali ibn Abi Talib is considered to be the father of the modern free democratic world, we have not exaggerated this. Because if you look at the principles of Ali ibn Abi Talib and what he has adapted, and looking at the principles of the modern world, the democratic world, you see that both are identical. Today, there are two types of governments. One is tyranny, and the other one is democratic and free. Tyranny belongs to the style of the pre-modern era, while democracies belong to the post-modern eras. The difference between them is that in the pre-modern era, the style of government was that people were always task-oriented. Always they have been fed and taught to search for their task and their duties and responsibilities toward the ruler. They were always duty-bound to ask, what is our obligation toward the government, or our duty toward the ruler? They were never been given a chance to ask about their own rights or demand their rights. The theme, the hallmark of the pre-modern government was task-oriented people. They were obsessed and forced to search for responsibilities in order to satisfy the ruler, while the ruler has no obligation, no responsibility toward his citizen. Today, there are plenty of the Arab world countries and Islamic countries that still governed by the pre-modern style. The modern style, or the democratic system, is the one that the citizens are obsessed with their rights. They always demand their rights. They think that the government or the system owe them. They are the ones who have the rights, and they have to demand it and claim it. Therefore, the formation of liberalism in the democratic free world has been associated with the creation of rights, human rights, women's rights, animals' rights, homosexual rights, religious rights, all types of rights, animal rights. When you see that it's a whole spectrum of rights have been introduced into the system. People are rights oriented. The difference between those two governments, the first government produces a tyranny, dictatorship, while the second kind of government produces democratic, free government. The hallmark of a free and democratic government is the existence of loyal opposition. The opposition party's task is to critique and exposes the governing party. They will say what the governing party have done right or wrong, bringing it to the light, to the public, so the public can see it. So the right of loyal opposition is integral part of any democratic system. That is what Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam has done throughout his government. He has allowed for opposition to thrive during his time. He gave a freedom to the Khawarij while they were speaking against him. One day he was in the Masjid al-Kufa, reciting his sermons. He was repeatedly interrupted by the Khawarij, who would stand up and say that they would object to the sermons and words of Ali ibn Abi Talib and would say, "La hukma illa lillah." When they finished, Ali ibn Abi Talib continued and says, "Allahu Akbar, kalimatu haqqin yultamasu minha batil." It's a right word, but you are taking falsehood lesson from that. Then he says, "Ama anna lakum indana," but we will guarantee 3 rights for you as the oppositions. "La namna'kum min masajidillah." We would not stop you from coming to the masajid, who were public forum and free speech at the time. "La namna'kum min masajidillah an tadhkuru fiha ismahu." We would not prevent you from coming to the masajid. "Wala namna'kum al-fay." We will continue with the allowances. We will give you allowances. "Ma damat aydina fi aydikum," as long as you stay peaceful. "Wala nuqatilukum ma lam tabda'una bihi." We will not persecute you as long as you stay peaceful. One day he was giving a sermon. One of the Khawarij stood up and said, "Qatalahu Allah, kafiran ma afqaha." What a kafir, but very knowledgeable. Some of the companions of Ali ibn Abi Talib, they stood up to kill that man. But the Imam said, "Wait a minute, leave him. They have the right of expression. They can express themselves." He says, "Utrukuh, innama huwa sabbun bisab, aw afwan an dab." Either I lower myself to his position and I also swear at him the same manner that he swore at me, or I forgive him and I better forgive him. This type of governor, this type of rule, Ali ibn Abi Talib demonstrated to the entire humanity 1400 years, stressing on the right of people to express themselves. And after all, Ali ibn Abi Talib was elected unanimously by the Muslim nation. Here, when we say that Ali ibn Abi Talib was the father of modern democracy, we have not exaggerated at all. We will come back.
يا من في السماء عظمته، يا من في الأرض آياته، يا من في كل شيء دلائله، يا من في البحار عجائبه، يا من في الجبال خزائنه، يا من يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده، يا من إليه يرجع الأمر كله، يا من أظهر في كل شيء لطفا، يا من أحسن كل شيء خلقا، يا من تصرف في الخلائق قدرته. سبحانك يا لا إله إلا أنت الغوث الغوث، خلصنا من النار يا رب. يا حبيب من لا حبيب له، يا طبيب من لا طبيب له، يا مجيب من لا مجيب له، يا شفيق من لا شفيق له، يا رفيق من لا رفيق له، يا مغيث من لا مغيث له، يا دليل من لا دليل له، يا أنيس من لا أنيس له، يا راحم من لا راحم له، يا صاحب من لا صاحب له. سبحانك يا لا إله إلا أنت الغوث الغوث، خلصنا من النار يا رب. يا كافي من استكفى، يا هادي من استهدى، يا كالئ من استكلى، يا راعي من استرعى، يا شافي من استشفى، يا قاضي من استقضى، يا مغني من استغنى، يا موفي من استوفى، يا مقوي من استقوى، يا ولي من استولى. سبحانك يا لا إله إلا أنت الغوث الغوث، خلصنا من النار يا رب.
Welcome back again with the beautiful dua Jawshan al-Kabir, which also will be recited wholly tonight. For 100 segments, it's preferred to be recited on such wonderful and great and holy night like Laylatul Qadr. Tonight we will be talking about segments number 58, 59 and 60. And the theme for segment 58 is to get honor and respect, where it says, يا من في السماء عظمته، يا من في الأرض آياته، يا من في كل شيء دلائله، يا من في البحار عجائبه، يا من في الجبال خزائنه، يا من يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده، يا من إليه يرجع الأمر كله، يا من أظهر في كل شيء لطفه، يا من أحسن كل شيء خلقه، يا من تصرف في الخلائق قدرته. It says, whose greatness is in the heaven, whose signs are on earth, whose proofs are manifested in everything, whose wonders are in the sea, whose treasures are in the mountain, whose originated creation, which then return to him, toward whom is the return of every matter, whose kindness is evident in everything, who makes best everything which he has created, whose authority is wielded over all creature. The word Ya man fil bihari ajaibu, whose wonders are in the sea. The sea is a world of wonders. If someone wants to realize the majesty of the Almighty and His power, look at the sea, look at the underwater world of living that exists. There are creatures in the sea that are called deep sea creatures. They live 1,000 or 2,000 meters below the sea surface. Now these animals or creatures, they have particular ability of adaptation to live in such extreme and harsh conditions that no other animal can survive going to that level. Number one is that they should be resistant to so many bars of pressures. The more we go deep in the sea, the pressure that is exerted in our bodies will become humongous. In the surface, in the terrestrial world where we live now, we endure 1 bar of pressure. But in the sea, the deeper we go, the pressure will increase more and more. Those deep sea creatures or organisms, they can withstand up to 100 to 200 bars of pressure. Not only that, they adapt themselves to the scarcity of food. Not much food exists in that level of water. Also, there is very, very little amount of oxygen where they need it for metabolism, for inhaling and exhaling, for cellular respiration. They adapted themselves with the grace of the Almighty, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that they will take very little amount of oxygen, little food, little oxygen, and no sunlight at all, because the sunlight cannot pass more than 1,500 meters below the surface of the sea. You see that these creatures adapted themselves to such kind of harsh environments, unlike the majority of creatures and organisms. This is one type of wonder under the sea. There are volcanoes under the sea. These volcanoes that are called hydrothermal vents, they expel materials. Some of those materials are nutrients, foods for those organisms. Before, the scientists used to believe that these volcanoes are nothing but destruction to the environment of the sea. But when they got close to those deeply rooted volcanoes in the sea or in the ocean bed, they recognize that they exert and they expel materials that are used as a food. They're edible for certain organisms. And they found organisms that live off those volcano springs inside the deep waters. That's another wonder of the sea. There is also another wonder of the sea. If you go to the east coast of Australia, there is the Great Barrier Reef that is all made from coral polyps. It is the largest single structure of organisms that extend to more than 1,500 kilometers, all made from a single kind of organisms. These are all the wonders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He has put them in the sea. Ya man fil bahri ajaibu. Then it says, Ya man fil jibali khaza'inu. The treasures of God are all in the mountain. Today when you look at the gold mining, you see them, they're all in the mountains. Some mountains, they have tremendous, a huge amount of gold. For example, the Round Mountain gold mine in Nevada, for over 60 years, has produced 350,000 ounces of gold, which is equal to 10 tons, meaning 10,000 kilograms of gold. That much treasure God has placed in the mountains. Sometimes they are in form of gold. Sometimes they are in the form of different jewelries, precious stones like diamond and the rest. These are all concealed in the mountains that bear the treasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Segment number 59, the theme is to be infatuated. And it says, Ya Habiba man la habiba lah, Ya Tabiba man la tabiba lah, Ya Mujiba man la mujiba lah, Ya Shafiqa man la shafiqa lah, Ya Rafiqa man la rafiqa lah, Ya Mughitha man la mughitha lah, Ya Dalila man la dalila lah, Ya Anisa man la anisa lah, Ya Rahima man la rahima lah, Ya Sahiba man la sahiba lah. Friend of he who has no friend, curer of he who has no healing, responder to he who has no responder, affectionate one to he whom no holds in affection, a friend of he who has no help, guide of he who has no guide, associate of the Florian, merciful on towards he who on whom no one has mercy. Ya Sahiba man la sahiba lah. He is the companion of the one who has no companions. This is a beautiful word. God is the companion of everyone. Every person, every entity has a companion that is called the Lord. As He says, وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. Wherever you go, whichever place you are, God is always with you, with us. He is the closest entity to us than anything else. Throughout our short life in this life, we think that our permanent home is the home that we reside in. Our means of survival is the money and the cash that we have. And our companion and partner is our spouse. But when we think carefully, we see that this life that we live in is very, very short compared to the overall life that we will have in this life and in the hereafter. In the hereafter, we will have billions upon billions upon billions of years of light years that we live in. That this life becomes so minute and unmentionable. So in reality, our permanent home is not the home that we reside in. Rather, it is the grave that we will be put to rest. The means of survival is not the cash and money that we need. Rather, it is our good deed that we do. That is the means of survival in the hereafter, which is life after death. We only live 70, 80, 90 years, and then the rest, billions of years, we will live in the hereafter, which the means of survival is the good deeds, the good demeanor. And the companion is not our spouses, even if we live with them 70 years, 80 years. The companion is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That one day we will get to see. Both of us will see God. Whether we are good people or bad people, the righteous and the sinners, both will get to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But one will meet God while God is angry with him and will punish him, and the other one, God will be satisfied with him. As he says, فَمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو لِقَاءَ اللَّهِ لِقَاءَ رَبَّهُ فَلْيَعْمَلْ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا وَلَا يُشْرِكْ بِعِبَادَةِ رَبِّهِ أَحَدًا. Then segment number 60, it's talking about the theme is to succeed in vital jobs, where it says, يا كافية من استكفاه يا هادية من استهداه يا كالئ من استكلاه يا راعي من استرعاه يا شافية من استشفاه يا قاضي من استقضاه يا مغني من استغناه يا موفي من استوفاه يا مقوي من استقواه يا ولي من استولاه يا كافي من استكفاه. We are advised against relying on others, being totally dependent on others. The only entity that we are advised to rely on and be dependent on is the Almighty Allah. Ya kafiya man istakfa. Whoever consider God is the best source of reliance and the only source of reliance, the Almighty Allah help him and take him to succeed and see the results. There is a difference between relying on others, other entities than the Almighty, and relying on the Almighty. Relying on others will create complacency, will create laziness, will create total dependency. But relying on the Almighty creates vigor, it creates determination, it creates perseverance and hard work. That's why the beautiful words, Ya kafiya man istikfa, we should make it our rhetoric and our slogan when we go into do business in our daily life. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
He who sees his own shortcomings abstains from looking into others' shortcomings. He who feels happy with the livelihood with which Allah provides him does not grieve over what he misses. He who draws out the sword of revolt gets skilled with it. He who strives without means perishes. He who enters the depths gets drowned. He who visits places of ill repute receives blame. He who speaks more commits more errors. He who commits more errors becomes shameless. He who is shameless will have less fear of Allah. He whose fear of Allah is less, his heart dies. He whose heart dies enters the fire. He who observes the shortcomings of others and disapproves of them and then accepts them for himself is definitely a fool. Contentment is a capital that does not dwindle. He who remembers death much is satisfied with small favors in this world. He who knows that his speech is also a part of his action speaks less, except where he has some purpose.